In this video, I will be showing you how to repair an Airblown inflatable that doesn't inflate all the way anymore. I just figured out how to do this about a week or two ago. I did it with one of mine to great results, so this one I figured I would record it and put it online so that anybody else who's wondering could see how well it works. So I'll plug this in a second, but first I wanted to show you what I'm using. I went to Home Depot and I got a bottle of Zepp floor polish. This one is high traffic floor polish. I was also recommended wet look floor polish. I think it's all the same thing. I've never polished a floor, so I don't really know. But this was about $30, pretty cheap because you don't need a whole lot of it to get one of these up and running again. Now, this doesn't work for all issues with inflatables, I should mention that. The only thing that this is meant to solve is the weathering of the fabric itself. If the motor for the inflatable isn't working anymore, then covering it with floor polish isn't going to do anything to fix the motor. But over time, they just get run kind of ragged by the weather or by the sun, or even just if you don't store them right. So they get very kind of floppy like this. So I'll let this inflate for a couple more seconds, but I've plugged it in before and this is about as good as it's gonna get. Alright, so this is what it looks like plugged in and fully inflated. It honestly doesn't look that bad. I was surprised because the previous few times that I had tested it out by plugging it in and letting it inflate, it didn't go up nearly as much as it is right now. I don't know why that is, but regardless, you could still tell, even though it looks a lot better than I was expecting it to, that it isn't going up all the way. You could tell that both from just me touching it and it being very, it resonates through the whole pumpkin when I touch it like that. And also you see the stem up top that isn't actually standing up all the way. It's getting weighed down by the weight of the string of lights that's inside of this. So what I'm going to do is just take this floor polish and I'm going to be painting a coat of it over the entirety of the pumpkin. And that's literally it. That's the whole process. I decided to move the camera out of the sunlight because it's very hot out today and I don't want to melt my camera. But yeah, so we're just taking the floor polish and painting it directly onto the inflatable as such and getting a full coat around the entire thing. That's all there is to it. Alright, so that right there is one of the 8 main panels done that makes up this jack-o'-lantern. So I've been doing that for probably 2 to 5 minutes. Again, it's very simple, very quick, and you can't really tell any difference right now because it's just such a small amount, but as you go, you'll start to notice the inflatable regaining its shape. So on to the next section. Okay, so we're about a quarter of the way done here. Got the first two panels taken care of. I'm gonna move the camera around to the back so you could see as I continue with it. All right, that's 3 panels down. 5 to go. Oh, hello. Tripod just swung around. Let's see. Can we get it there? Perfect. All right, back to work. All right, so as you could see, after recoating just after doing half of it, it's already a lot more taut. Just from poking it, you can see it doesn't ripple quite as much. And the stem is, oh, there you go, the stem's back. So that's just after halfway. There's still 4 more of those 8 sides to it, I guess. I don't know what to call them. Panels, faces, something. One thing worth mentioning is that, let me try to get this in closer. These leaves, you know, with a lot of inflatables, they'll have kind of add-ons like sewed onto them, whether it's a leaf or something else that doesn't inflate, but it's just for decoration. If this touches it while it's still wet, then it could kind of stick and leave some residue behind. The one that I'd done previously was a leprechaun inflatable, and it had a lot of green pieces like this, and they ended up getting stuck onto it, and when I peeled them off, it left some green coloring behind. So just be mindful of that while you're doing this. Alright, well, I've got it fully coated now. You can see already a decent improvement. First off, we got the stem actually standing up, and overall it's a lot more taut than it used to be. It could probably still use a little bit more, whether that's in the form of a second entire coating or if I just did some touch-ups, but for the most part it looks a lot better and I'm happy with this result. So I'm going to let it dry for a little while, then I'm going to deflate it, and I'll re-inflate it so you can see how much faster it goes up. There you go. Since I haven't done this before, well, except for with one other inflatable, I have yet to actually test this outside. I've only used it to prove whether or not it can make them stand upright again. So when it gets closer to October, I'll probably be putting this out on the lawn to see how it holds up in the weather, if at all. my hopes aren't that high for it to be weatherproof, but at the very least, this means that you'll be able to use it in an indoor setting again. So if you've got some sort of event space or just a lot of room on a porch, I'm sure there's more uses for it. But yeah, so I'll probably follow up on this video in a couple of months to see how it actually holds up over time. But at least for the time being, it's nice to know there is a solution to the weathering of these holiday decorations. So I hope this was helpful or of some use to you. If you've got any comments or questions, then let me know. I'd love to hear what you got to say. And that's it. Thank you for watching.